On this episode of Forest Products, we'll be discussing the current situation in Malaysia. We will be talking about the mangroves and non-timber forest products, along with how the industry impacts Malaysia as a whole. Malaysia is a country located adjacent to the southern China Sea. Neighboring countries include Indonesia and Thailand. It consists of 13 states and 3 territories. Islam is the official religion, and the population numbers around 27 million. As the geographic specialist, Cameron will be discussing the current situation of forests in Malaysia.
Malaysia is currently covered by about 60% rainforest. The forests that cover the country are also extremely diverse. 1 square mile of rainforest can contain hundreds and even thousands of species of plants and animals. The diversity is important not only to the well-being of the forest, but also to that of the country. Unfortunately, the forest is being diminished at an alarming rate due to illegal harvesting of forest products and unsustainable logging practices. It is estimated by WWF that about 250,000 hectares of forest are being destroyed a year. Mangroves are another great example of what Malaysia forests have to offer. Located on coasts, rivers, and estuaries, the mangroves offer habitats to many different species of organisms. Biodiversity is important to the health of a forest, and the ecosystem that mangrove forests provide are among the most biodiverse in the world. Mangrove trees are special for many reasons. They have adapted to survive in environments that not many plants can. The soil that mangrove plants grow in consists of very low oxygen concentration because it is often waterlogged. Also, the water is often brackish. This means that the plants can survive in a mixture of fresh and salt water. Mangrove forests provide habitats for many species of land and marine animals. The roots of mangrove trees are used by fish and other marine life as habitats and breeding grounds for future generations. Mangrove forests play a role in economical, political, and of course environmental health of Malaysia. The forest products that come from these types of trees contribute much to the country. Not only are the goods, such as charcoal, a huge contribution by these ecosystems, but they also serve many other functions. Mangrove forests provide the products which local people use to survive. The management by mangrove forests is governed by many forest management policies that are actually pretty well written. The many laws and policies that have been written and are still in place today have the safety and well-being of mangrove forests and all of Malaysia's forests as a top priority. A list of products that come from mangrove trees include fuelwood, pulpwood for newspapers, cardboard, and other goods, dyes, tannins, and there are many more. And now on to you, Alex.
Thank you, Cameron. Malaysia, being a heavily forested country, deals with an unsurprising quantity of non-forest products, the likes of which are both easy for transport and supply a solid portion of the country's GDP. Of the non-forest products that are supplied, bamboo and rattan are the 2 major non-forest products that come from the area. Growing bamboo has its advantages, of course. It's extremely common, and it grows very quickly, with estimates being around 2.7 billion shoots that grow over 6 meters high. Approximately 30% of the world's rattan comes from the Malaysian area. When it comes to uses, bamboo can be used as food prepared in various manners, and secondary uses include medicine, construction, paper, and even instruments in some cases. Rattan includes many of the same uses as bamboo. Rattan can be used to make furniture, crafts, and construction material.
Thank you, Alex. The issue of legality in harvesting forest products in Malaysia is a controversial issue. The state defines timber taken without official permission and without rent as legal. But when it comes to the indigenous people of the area, there are 2 levels at which legality is challenged. The first is that logging and plantation licenses are allowed on indigenous communities' customary land without their permission. The second is that local laws do not provide ways to resolve conflict between industry and the indigenous people. The land and forests are a crucial resource for the indigenous people. The High Court in the Adon bin Kara and the Johor state government explained that, quote, the Aboriginal people's rights over land include the right to move freely about their land without any form of disturbance or interference, also to live from the produce of the land itself. Forests and forest rights are important to the livelihoods of the indigenous people. The forests supply their basic needs through hunting and gathering. The indigenous people also earn income through the harvesting of forest products such as resin, bamboo, rattan, and from the sale of fish. Without forests and forest rights, the physical, livelihoods, security, health, education, mobility, and other factors are threatened by the industry. Until the Malaysian government and industry can embrace the customary rights of indigenous communities, no equitable partnership can be forged. There are several ways to form this partnership. Firstly, the government would need to strengthen land tenure and access rights for the rural communities and indigenous people. Secondly, they could increase effective participation of all stakeholders, notably of non-state actors and indigenous peoples in policymaking and implementation, along with increasing transparency in association with forest exploitation operations, including through the introduction of independent monitoring systems. Finally, they could reduce corruption in association with the award of forest concessions and harvesting of untradeed timber. With the cooperation of the Malaysian government to regulate the use of forests, the indigenous people will be able to use the resources that are rightfully theirs to earn incomes and livelihoods.